Thank you.
You're welcome.
Once again for coming. Very excited. We just recently met too.
Right.
Right.
I had reached out to you and we had the opportunity to have coffee together.
Yes, thank you for coffee as well.
No problem.
Yes.
Get to know each other because so much of the business is getting to know people.
Yes, for sure.
And it's that one-on-one relationship it starts with, then it goes to the job.
Absolutely.
Right,
so,
right.
You are now in inspection business.
Residential home inspection, exactly.
That's right. And I'm going to ask you a few questions about your corporate life today.
No problem.
So, the corporate life, what did you do in corporate America and how long were you in that career for?
So corporate America was primarily out of college, went into sales, and I had been in sales for probably 30 years. Not only as a field representative, but then as a senior manager.
Okay.
I worked for large corporations, which were global, as a vice president of sales. And then also I had the opportunity to work with startups.
Okay, wow.
Which is wearing a lot of hats, which is really fun because that's where you really start doing a lot more than what your designated role is.
Yeah.
But then as you move into a management position, I prefer to be a player coach.
Okay.
Because you couldn't take the salesperson out of me.
Right. Oh.
But it was fun being with my team, teaching them, listening, watching, and coaching.
So it looks like you really enjoy the management part of the things too, coaching and
yeah. Both were extremely fun. I mean, the sales part has always been a lot of fun. I've done it my whole life. And then when you get into management, you start to make those bigger decisions that quite often in a large company and a small company aren't always in your control.
Exactly. That's one of the things, is that when you are working with someone, you're not always in control. It sounds like you really enjoyed the days there. So I do want to ask you, when did you first realize you wanted something different? Or was there a specific moment that changed everything?
So throughout my career, I've been buying and selling real estate, doing renovations on it.
That's right.
And that was sort of on the side. And it's what I sort of developed a passion for and really enjoyed that. But then my main career was sales and leadership. And then you get to a point where you understand that not all decisions are your own. And that's fine for a long time. And you develop a skill to go ahead and help guide leadership. Because good leaders look for people that can bring ideas. But then eventually you get to a point and you say, you know, I'm at a point where I know that I want to make a transition. Okay. And it was that critical moment that I said, okay, what am I gonna do next? I was in healthcare, I was in industrial controls as a business leader. So I knew that I had a business acumen on how to run a business and how to outbound, how to market, and how to run financially the business. Yes. But then also I had the real estate background where I knew mechanicals, I'd done renovations. I said, okay, if I put these together, what can I do?
Sure, that makes sense, yeah.
One idea was, okay, I could become a handyman. Okay, not bad. But then also I saw home inspection, which combined both having to run a business as well as real estate.
Right. It's not easy though, I'm sure. Do you like the challenge?
I love it, and it was interesting. You know, as I decided to make the transition, there were different routes I could go. I could go to work for a large company and be an inspector, just one of the team.
That's right.
The second is I could go with a franchise. They're bringing overhead and marketing and direction and logos and identity. Or I could start my own business. And I think that's the type of decision that I was faced with.
Okay. How long did it take for you to kind of think through this process?
The choice between those three didn't take too long.
Okay, wow.
Knowing that if I went to work for a larger company, I would just be an inspector, which would be interesting, but I would still be in the position like I was when I was in corporate, where I had someone else creating direction, marketing ideas, outbounding, and running the business.
Right.
The second one was a franchise. So you take a look at what is the franchise bringing to me. They're bringing identity, maybe some market recognition,
branding.
some branding, maybe operational controls such as a CRM or customer relationship management system, accounting, scheduling, all the things to make the business run.
Sure.
But then I said, okay, I've done a lot of that. I've done marketing. I've run, operated, and developed CRMs.
Right.
I've done outbounding with clients. And so I said, why am I going to pay someone? This is where you say, I think I can do it.
Yeah.
And you take that step and you try it. And I was able to operationally find the right applications to run my business. I was able to get a CRM, a books application.
Sure.
I developed a website. I developed a logo.
Okay.
Marketing materials, which was a lot of fun. I've done parts of that. And did I have some bad ideas? Certainly. Did they make it to production? No, luckily.
Right. But it's a lot of, try and errors and the think process, and I'm sure investments and the startups.
Yeah.
But when you talk about it, you're just smiling, like remembering it, which is like, I'm fascinated.
Yeah.
First year in real estate for me, I was still doing the corporate Americas, so
Right.
I joined a virtual brokerage. So the first year, I was like, I'm doing presentations, I'm doing all these work on the side, but if this is a virtual world where I can log in and do the business when I can, I thought it would be great.
Right.
But I did not go anywhere, to be honest.
Yeah.
Right. I needed hand-holding. So I felt like, okay, I need to be in a franchise or somebody to coach me through this,
Right.
at least for the first couple of years. And that's when I went to Berkshire Hathaway. And that's when
Nice.
I'm getting more help. So to me, what you've done is fascinating because I kind of tried it. And I was like, this is too much.
And that's okay. Yeah, I mean, I think the most important thing is to understand where your limitations are, and you don't always know what they are until you try it.
That's right.
You have to know that failing is not failing, it's learning.
Yes, so moving on, did you quit first or build your new career on the side? And what was harder than you expected?
Great questions, and I'll address them separately. So I actually left corporate America, and it was the company let me go.
Okay.
So I was put in a position that either I go ahead and find another, vice president of sales opportunity.
Yeah.
And the company that I left, I left them. They never did hire another VP of sales. So obviously for them, the role was not right for their business model. So I was put in the position that, okay, either I go back into a VP of sales position in the healthcare market, which is where I was, or I reinvent. And that's where I went through the whole thought strategy of business management and real estate, what kind of opportunities are in that field, home inspection, and then a lot of it was research, studying what are all the components I need to put together.
Sure. How long did it take for you to really start running? Like sounds like you were spending some time establishing, but it sounds like it was a short time and you were almost like doing everything parallelly.
It was a short time because I wasn't working. So I was able to invest, and I had to invest all my time.
Yes, yes.
So it was operationally, what are the applications am I going to use, like what Berkshire brings you, right? CRM, books, marketing, website. I need licensing, so I developed, I got my LLC for my business.
Okay.
I had to get trained and certified as a residential home inspector with the state of Illinois. So that was the buildup. Right? As I'm developing the background and the infrastructure, I'm training and educating to be a home inspector. And then it culminates in taking the test. And then it culminates, and in the meantime, I got my LLC. So you can sort of see the parallel path.
Yes.
It's all a waiting game.
God, a lot going on at once, but yeah. It's amazing.
I put a spreadsheet together, and I said, these are the things I need to accomplish, these are the steps each requires.
We're all really good with spreadsheets, right?
It runs my life. It definitely runs my life. It's the way I think. I was an engineer, so of course.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And then, as you go through the different steps, you run them as much in parallel because you want to culminate in a business as quickly as possible, but also what you're comfortable with. And then the minute I got my license was now, okay, I can put my license on my website and my business card, and then I can start my outbound.
Yes. Until that point is it a year?
It was about
Less? 2 years?
2-3 months.
Oh, what? Okay, wow. Yeah, that's fast.
Well, the education was the longest part of it, right? Going through the coursework, preparing for the exam,
Yes.
and then scheduling the exam. Things were running in parallel. I was building my CRM. For residential home inspectors, a lot of us use tablets to do our home inspection.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And there are many companies that make inspection software, but then operationally, they add pieces for scheduling and for billing.
Oh, that's amazing.
And some CRM, even though I'm using a different one, I didn't like theirs. But as an owner, I got to make that decision.
Wow. So for those of who's listening, what advice would you give someone who feels stuck?
So feeling stuck, or you're looking for that point of inflection, where you finally say, I've got to do something different. And it's the leap of faith. And whatever allows you to feel confident, and you will never feel 100% confident
Yeah, that's
that you're
how I
making the
felt.
right decision.
Right.
Entrepreneurs fail many times more than they succeed. And it doesn't mean you're going to fail the first time though. But you do have to take that leap of faith and do your due diligence. I think it's important to find a mentor or someone that you might be able to talk to. Mine was the internet. I didn't have a single mentor.
Yeah.
But before I started the business, I did call a handful of home inspection companies.
Okay.
And they were very good. They were great to talk to. I could ask them questions, what are the difficult things? What are you using? What are your challenges? And they're all at different points in their business. So you've got the people who've been in the business for 20 years. They're really looking to build and grow. They've already got operationally. And I had to find a couple that were just starting their business. Say, okay, what are your initial challenges? But again, it's finding that community that you can rely on.
Yeah, I love that. If someone is waiting for a perfect time, what would you tell them?
There is no perfect time.
We kind of knew that.
that was a given. And the perfect time is really do your due diligence. Ask as many questions as possible, because the worst question is the question that's never asked. And don't be afraid to feel vulnerable and not knowing everything, but then also be coachable. But as a business owner, as an independent agent, and as a sole business owner, it's only on you. You will get what you put out. And you have to take the initiative.
What did you gain by leaving that you could never have gotten by staying?
Control. And being able to make my own decisions. And being able to take a chance and fail if I fail and succeed if I succeed. Creating direction, I think, was probably one of the most exciting parts of
I thought you were
doing
going to say difficult.
No, most exciting.
Wow.
Because, again, you got to have some confidence in yourself. And I always told people about sales, you can't control the product. You can't control the company. You'd like to think you can control the customer, but not really. The only thing you can control in sales is what you do and how you do it. But there is a risk. And I always say, if you went to Vegas and there was a roulette wheel and your name was on the roulette wheel, would you place a bet on that? Because that's all you have to do. That's what you have. That's where your success is. You make your own success. And it's not for everyone. When I talk to people about sales, when they say, "Ooh, I want to get into sales. I want the freedom. I want the money."
Yes.
I always tell them that story, and I said, "This is what you have to be confident on."
I love that. Would you ever consider going into coaching, business coaching?
I think it'd be fun, and I enjoy always having those coaching conversations.
Yeah.
But also, I want to draw back and get some coaching back.
Yeah. Okay.
And it is that professional exchange.
So, wrapping this up, I do want to ask you one question relating to your business.
Sure.
What do most homeowners misunderstand about inspections?
So, if you've never been through a home inspection, you don't pass or fail a home inspection. My role is, and my tagline is, detailed inspections, smarter decisions. Because it's about bringing as much information to the home buyer, or even the home seller, because you can do pre-inspections, to allow them to then create a path and make a decision. Because any of the things that you find in a home, 99% of them are fixable. But then it becomes a part financial decision. I'm paying X for a home. I know there's some things either immediately or in the 5 or 10 year future that I'm going to have to pay for to fix. Is that combined the type of investment I want to make? And I'm not getting away from the whole emotional decision of buying a home. It's very exciting.
Yes. Yes.
But I think going in with as much information as possible. Because I've done so much home renovation, I've fixed most of the problems before.
That's
so
right.
I know that they can be fixed. There's just a cost with fixing it. And you look at your majors, your foundation, your roof are the two biggest. Then you go to your mechanicals. Then you go to everything else.
Yep.
And so many times in a home inspection, 90% is everything else.
Cosmetic.
Cosmetic, or an outlet.
Outlet, yes.
Or yeah, small things, a light fixture. You know, mechanicals are getting to a certain age. Doesn't mean it's going to fail.
Right.
Run it into the ground.
Yes.
But be financially responsible that says if I need a new water heater, you know, it's X number of years old, and I think in 5 years it's going to reach its traditional end of life. I know that a water heater is going to cost me X. Every month I'm going to put some money aside for when it does fail, I'm prepared.
Yep.
But you need to be diligent about doing it yourself.
That's right, yeah.
Put it aside, save it yourself. You know it'll always be there.
Yeah, that's a good
But it
piece
becomes self-discipline.
Yes, it's a good piece of takeaway for home buyers too. Okay, well, thank you.
No, thank you very much, Lisa. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yes, it was a very nice conversation. Thank you very much, Jim.
All right, thank you, Lisa.